Rolling tin fist.
So I have a young relative in his mid 20s, a handsome guy. I mean, handsome guy, smart, and just recently graduated from the medical field. And I've known this young man since he was born. I remember I remember carrying him in my arms. Again, he was about probably just about 1 years old, and it's just amazing to see how far he's come. Unfortunately, he was the product of a short-lived relationship. You know, single mom, and the father was neither here or there. He wasn't a dunghill bag, but he wasn't a hero either. So I guess you could say he did no harm. As far as I know, he contributed when he could, made a point to visit, but never was really in the picture. Luckily for him, despite his mother's just full blown five house alarm crazy female drama, the flip side of that is that his mom was a supremely hard focused worker, like solid top notch work ethic, serial entrepreneur, just corporate success, everything. So I think that was the great thing that he got out of the deal. Just the parent who was in the picture really was able to set the foundation in terms of, you know, academic achievement, grooming, uh, you know, some sense of, I would say, morals. But actually, more credit, I would say, to his uncle, right? Um, his mom's brother, who really, I think, was the father figure where there was none. And he's a phenomenal role model. Himself, he's a serial entrepreneur, very smart, self-trained, and I think that really helped guide him. And obviously, I was in the picture as well, but really, he had a good foundation, and he's had success. He's had success. Again, smart academically, brilliant, and also physically appealing. So you know how that goes, gentlemen. You know the pussy's just chasing him. I mean, it's ridiculous. And he's wilding out. He's enjoying his success so far. He's on that trajectory, and basically, his dating history, nines and tens, nines and tens. It's like he doesn't even have to try. They're there, and even the women themselves know that basically they can be replaced in a heartbeat. So there's no drama because the second one shows drama. He kindly just quietly shows them the door. Um, and so I thought about probably a few years ago talking to him about just generally, even before I discovered the red pill, he's getting to his 20s, he's wilding out, having fun with women and enjoying life, and try to get a sense of just general older male guidance. And his uncle and I would talk, and he'd give me some feedback that unfortunately, this was probably a few years back, he was going through some of the same pitfalls you have a lot of young black men get into, in that they sometimes mistake bravado and libido for success in life. The number of, women they can score and all that, some PUA stuff, as well as just, materialism for materialism's sake, having this car because, your boy got this car, or, going to a certain college because so on and so forth. And he's grown up a little bit more, and he actually ended up going to South America, Brazil, and he'd heard I had gone to Brazil, and the first time he wanted to go, he actually reached out to me, and he was like, "Wow, I didn't know you've been there." So I said, "Yeah, and I kind of said, "Look, you're gonna go there, and you're gonna lose your damn mind, but I said, look, use your head. I'm not saying what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. You're a grown man, but, use a condom, especially if you're in Rio. Just be smart. If you're not smart about anything else, be smart about that. And we would just talk and touch base and, see how he was doing. So fast forward to recently, he just graduated this weekend, and again, he's living La Vida Loca. He's traveled to other parts of Latin America, the Caribbean, Europe. Um, he's managed his money well up to this point, and all that stuff. So he's really at a nice trajectory for really lasting success, provided, of course, he doesn't fall into the typical pitfalls, i.e., some broad comes along, and before you know it, you're the daddy. And so I'd been holding off on talking about MGTOW because I was just seeing where his trajectory was going, and I wanted to really kind of talk to him and kind of see where his head was at. And so he had done this video, again, of him just wilding out. He actually did a quasi music video, and it got really great feedback on social media. And then I commented on it and said, hey, you should probably put this on YouTube. And then we started talking, and then I thought about it again. I said, okay, I gotta tell him about MGTOW, just like officially, because he's gonna be graduating, he's gonna go in the real world, and of course, you men know the gold diggers, the cougars, they're gonna be gunning for his head, and they're gonna be women out here that are just more mature, more experienced at just taking men down and just sucking the utility out of them. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna tell him about MGTOW. And so, we're talking. I say, hey, you know what? Check out MGTOW. Sent him the link. I told him to just go MGTOW and sad man intro to MGTOW. Now, there is other content out there in, the manosphere, YouTube, and, more in-depth stuff. But if I've learned anything from what I've seen in the manosphere since I've taken the red pill just over a year ago, and even how I got introduced into MGTOW after discovering the red pill, even though I'm not MGTOW myself, is that, like a lot of things in life, we learn with kind of milk, really elementary, really basic, really short, really to the point. And so as we digest that baby food, if you will, to use a metaphor, we learn just the basics: how to chew, how to swallow. The basics of red pill mentality, right? And though as we grow, as we learn, as we practice, as we experience, and then we can kind of move on and progress, through the red pill rage, and learn some of the terminology, gynocentrism, hypergamy, and all those things, and continue to builds one's knowledge. But I thought the format Sandman did in Intro to MGTOW, I think, was really good in that it's really accessible. It's just really accessible, really quick. It's really digestible. And a new man being introduced to MGTOW, or even just discovering the red pill, can just run through that basic intro as it is in a relatively short period of time. I went through the whole collection in literally 2 days. It's about, I think, 20-something videos, no more than like 10 minutes each maximum. And so I just pointed to that. Don't know if you've seen it or not, but that was a good start versus maybe some more deeper stuff by maybe Thinking Ape or, Barbarossa and stuff. They have different lengths of stuff, but again, the takeaway is that, start with the basics and then move up. So I hope he picks it up, but obviously, like Morpheus said, I can show you the door, but you have to walk through it. And who's to say that I'm the person that he might pick it up somewhere else? But I felt, I don't know, it was like my duty or something to at least say, hey, this is shit I wish somebody told me at your age, because it would have I would have had a different path. So we'll see what he does with it. I will probably see him later this summer, but who knows? Anyway, man, stay cool.